I want to talk about the collapse of the unity. Can you give this story to me, Liz, with just the details of everybody's arguing and hating on each other?
Yes, it is, of course. If you listen to the mainstream media, it's a circular firing squad between Chip Roy, Donald Trump, and Elon Musk. I don't view it that way at all. I think that I actually like to see this kind of contention within the Republican ranks, because how lucky are we that 2 months ago we were debating good versus evil, and now we're debating good versus
Money.
better. This is
Yeah.
a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
It also shows you that the DOGE process is working. Elon Musk said, listen,
Okay, so-
go ahead.
So before we get there, what happened? Because I was on a plane yesterday, so I didn't see the bill that was presented. And I get off the plane, and everybody's hating on each other. And I'm like, wait, what just happened? Mike Johnson proposed his bill on Wednesday, and that went to hell in a handbasket. Thank God we got rid of that. That would have been a nightmare. Then they proposed a second bill, and it increased the debt ceiling, which has to be done by June or July of this year, increased it by $5 trillion. And all of the conservatives, and quite frankly, conservatives like me, and I think you, that have been for stop raising the debt ceiling, let's get out of debt. We started having this debate about the debt. The debt ceiling has got to go up. Unfortunately, at this time. Well, let me finish what actually happened first before we get into that. So people like Chip Roy stood up, and Donald Trump had endorsed this. They say it was a clear CR, but if I'm not mistaken, wasn't there some other stuff in there, like protection for the January 6ers? Was that left in, or was that taken out? Do you know, Jill?
It was mostly.
All right.
It was mostly
Liz,
clean.
sorry.
It was the objectionable parts that you raised your voices against in the past couple of days were removed. The reauthorization of the Global Engagement Center, the vaccine passports, that kind of garbage was taken out. It did increase the debt ceiling. Technically, I think it was an extension of the already increase. It was automatic increases. And I understand in principle, most of us don't want to increase the debt ceiling. However, it became an argument last night about that specifically, which distracts from what I think the bigger picture is. The bigger picture being, for a long time in Washington, D.C. and Congress, the people who have said they're fiscally conservative haven't been effective in making that happen and making cuts. So what Donald Trump did is he hired what he considered to be the most brilliant man in our country to say, retool this process and do it better. Elon Musk came in with DOGE and said, what we're going to do is be transparent with you. We're going to tell you exactly what your tax money is being spent on, and then we're going to leave it to you to lobby your congressional members to cut that. And Glenn, that's exactly what happened this time. We looked at that 1,500-page bill that Speaker Johnson had put forward. We identified 5 or 6 egregious things in that bill, said no, and effectively, we were victorious. We got that bill killed, which is, I think, very exciting. And then we had this clean version, and then that's when the drama started.
Yeah, that's when the drama started. Because there are, and I'm one of them, that have been so tired of, we're going to raise the debt, but then we're going to cut. I don't believe anybody in Washington. However, I do believe Donald Trump. I do believe Elon Musk. I do believe Vivek Ramaswamy. I do believe, just for survival reasons alone, Donald Trump has got to take a hatchet to the size of this government. Okay? So let's just look at it from I will be killed or I will be thwarted by this giant government, and I've got to reduce the size so it doesn't have octopus arms everywhere trying to choke me out. So I believe that he wants to cut the size of government, and I believe he has a plan to do it. I believe that Elon Musk is a guy. I mean, Donald Trump got famous for saying you're fired. Elon Musk is famous for actually firing people and cutting all of the non-essential. So those two together have reasons. One is, hey, this just needs to run like a sound operation. And the other one is that plus, oh, and it's trying to kill me. So I believe they're incentivized, unlike anyone else in my lifetime, to cut the size of the government. Donald Trump, to me, and I love Chip Roy. I love him. I hope he replaces John Cornyn. I love him. However, at this point, I believe Donald Trump should be given the benefit of the doubt for this reason. He's got to do, if he wants to fix America and make it truly great, he can't do what the Democrats have done, and that is just start spending money like crazy and pushing money out the door. He's got to return the money to you. So he has to have these tax cuts, and he has to have them right now. When he walks through the door, he has to have them. So you're going to have this period where you're flipping the entire company of the United States government upside down. You're in a transition period. And so we're going to need to spend more as we cut more. But you cannot shut off the debt. We're $1 trillion every 100, I'm sorry, not a trillion, $1 trillion every 100 days. $1 trillion every 100 days. We're $1 trillion a year just in interest now. You can't, $5 trillion is not a lot when you're playing with these numbers. It's obscene to even say that. We have to cut trillions out. But Donald Trump, to be able to pull this off, he has got to make people's lives better quickly. And the two ways to do it is first, return money to the people, and then to make it actually last, cut all of the regulation and all of the size of the government. That one, we don't want to be fighting two battles. We want to fight one battle. And in my opinion, Donald Trump has shown me he's willing to take a bullet for the Constitution and the United States and for us. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, coupled with Elon Musk, because I believe their intentions are aligned with my intentions and desires. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think, like I said, it's a funny situation because they're both right. Chip Roy is correct in principle that we should cut spending, and Donald Trump and Elon Musk are correct in practice. And so
it's timing. It's just timing.
It is timing. They're actually both going to achieve, or they hope to achieve, the same thing. I concur with your analysis. I have hope that Donald Trump he's a changed man. We've all seen this since he took a bullet to the ear. He is viewing the world differently. He's viewing his own life differently. He's viewing his duty to us differently. He's viewing his stewardship of our country differently. He is doing something groundbreaking. He is upending, disrupting the process in Congress that has been business as usual. And it can be messy. And maybe not everyone in Congress, even if they are principally correct, has quite grasped that, oh, this is the new way that we're going to do things. I think Donald Trump has this right.
Yeah, I do too. And I think that the Republicans, the fiscally responsible Republicans, and it could turn out that you're right and I'm wrong, but I really truly believe disruption is where we're going. And this did disrupt. And if we don't all stand together, they will disrupt us. And I am not one to believe that the spending is going to magically go down. I don't believe that. But if you were a family and you were a business and you were running debt and you just didn't know what to do. How do I stop the hemorrhaging? Who in the world would be the best advisor that you could get? Who in the world could you say, I need somebody to look at all these finances, figure out what's what and how to cut and how to make my business stronger? I can't imagine anyone better than Elon Musk. So let's listen to Elon and Donald Trump. And by the way, if anybody thinks that Elon is taking over, did you read how the tweets came out? He went to Donald Trump. Trump and the vice president were working together on a statement, And Elon came in and said, hey, I want to release this. Is it okay if I release this? And Donald Trump read it and said, yeah, go for it. That's where we are. Go for it. So Elon's not leading the president. Believe me, the president has a plan. Let's give him all the opportunities we can to let him execute it, because we've all come up with other plans and none of them have worked. This one has some of the best minds in the world on it. Let's let them do their job.